So much of the remake Rebirth anthology is ensorcelled in wildly interpreted phantasmagorical phenomena and captivating mystery. Yet between the hard-fought battles and the eternity of the multiverse, we understand that the fingers of heroes, when pricked, bleed red. We know this because we've helplessly watched it and still feel the acidic pain. Everything else pays homage to this emotional court, even the parts that can appear perplexing. When we go to Gaia, we are awestruck witness to the untamed majesty, to love transcribed across a global and individual medium, heroism, villainy, and union, betrayal, and love and loss are nestled in an immaculate scaffolding of meaningful rules, much as life here on Earth. If only we imagination adventurers had an Omni Rosetta Stone to help us intuitively decipher what's going on behind the cosmic curtains, what those tear-jerking hieroglyphics mean, so that what's on them that is pretty to even a child is joined by what's in them that is profound to everyone, to create a firmament of cradle for the emotion, for the people to laugh and cry unchecked, come what may at journey's end. The blood of pricked fingers is all that really matters. The elaboration of Cipher is humble servant to this. Just as with Destiny's Crossroads, in the final chapter of Remake, in the Satori moment, in the in-between, in the final chapter of Rebirth, the true nature of reality, we imagination adventurers, masked benign gods, finally have the lighthouse in the storm of stimuli for the Remake Rebirth anthology, and even for an inimitable masterpiece in 1997. This deceivingly chaotic sequence occurs in the ineffable vastness, where consciousness and space-time are more visibly one. This less than 5-minute passage rests in between two peaks of cathartic eruption, two events where the forces of light and dark, destiny and freedom engage in open war. In this bizarre infinitude, we gods of the controller can but watch a sporadic tapestry and its two navigators, as multiversal struggles and eldritch enemies are no more immediate threat than multiple ships and trust and mortality. It's a transcendent lull, an inhale that will carry those breathing until the final credits roll. Here in this spooky quantum realm is the last instance of innocence in the Remake Rebirth journey, where Cloud and his beloved friends are not caught up and careening towards climactic ends, be it meteor or make 'em bloom. After sad farewell and brutal murder unfold, Cloud finds himself falling through the energetic aspect of the multiverse. Black whispers chase him as Sephiroth uses the ephemeral slaves to account for his difficulty of Aerith sending Cloud here. Two enormous observations are, in this aspect of the in-between, Cloud still carries holy materia. Not until he enters the magical forest would this again be true. This explains why the insane god did not sense it, and then take it from Cloud. Aerith is not to be underestimated. The other is the ideation of what's observed herein between aspects of Gaia. Though the true nature of reality seems to at first be one contiguous flow of apparitions, it is actually representative of distinct rational things that occur due to specific forces. Once they are deciphered, a whole narrative unfolds in these brief minutes and expands to encapsulate 27 years. This ethereal space I've given the name, the Twilight Realm, where the familiar pure light of consciousness and the flow of existence such as light dots do meet. A flash of white, the hallmark since '97 that indicates temporal and universal convergence. In this exact moment, keep firm to the fore of your child's heart. From the outset of this sequence to the brightly colored wormhole at its end, what does the insane god hope to accomplish with revealing everything he is about to Cloud? He is detached, and he is insane, but he is also brilliant and possessed of unimaginable awareness. Sephiroth is not to be underestimated. This second reality could just be the Twilight Realm, but from a less or more energetic state. Either way, it seems to represent the light life stream, either planetary or universal. The white dots have resolved themselves to be far-off stars. It's a limitless expanse, like outer space itself. Within this infinity, a swirl of localized liquid rainbow exists. It's not everywhere, it's only in one spot. Interesting that Sephiroth refers to multi-hued localized nebulae as creation, and rainbow rainbows throughout Rebirth symbolize the creating of something meaningfully new, meaning being defined by a mysterious, multiversal memory that attributes a pink ribbon to the endpoint of a decision, but not to the other equally valuable worlds offshooting from that same decision. Truly a D in cosmic fugue. Exactly as the one-winged angel appears, and only from the liquid rainbow comes darkness festooned with violet specks. This phenomena is headed by literal heads, and seems to be manifestations of the whispers Sephiroth controls. Out of this Stygian phantasm, balls of light form, 9 of them as we can see, all surrounded by darkness by Sephiroth. This is what to be an insane god looks like. A key point of notice is that this darkness and these balls would not be visible if it were not for Sephiroth's power and influence. All experiences heretofore are his design. A second observation would be that none of the orbs of light conjured from anywhere but the rainbow, further suggesting rainbow is creation. Also notice the pristine lack of detritus in this infinity. Nothing random floats around. In this third aspect of reality, all is Technicolor dream light, and currently it passes by in streamers, indicating rapid relative movement. Notice the detritus now present. Ahead of Cloud is the iconic moment of Destiny's crossroads. A flash of white, something has shifted. Yet the streamers of rainbow continue. Nevertheless, the memories surround the Mako warrior now. Instead of being where he is heading, he seems to have merged with the consciousness of these memories. Cloud sees more images of singularity, both from Highway and rather intriguingly from Zack's perspective. A question need be asked, assuming that each of these images is curated by the Dark God. Why would Sephiroth show not only Zack alive, but near Midgar on those forever memorable plains? Plains Cloud would recognize because he walked them a week previous. Cloud, who has already begun remembering Zack in Nibelheim, an incident the Dark God would almost certainly be aware of as Genova manipulated it. And notice the whispers. Cloud knows when the whispers surrounded Midgar and sees Zack in that same memory. Perhaps consciously, Cloud has not put the two together yet, but he cannot unsee what herein has been revealed. After the magical forest, the Mako warrior says with confidence that he believes there are other worlds, many of them. Why would Sephiroth want Cloud to know this? And notice something extraordinary. This technicolored Terminator where this cosmic memory meets the greater rainbow realm about it. Compare this to the rifts thus far seen. With the additional context to come, it is heavily suggested that these memories are worlds, and the rift represents where world and greater creation meet, which is why the rifts are multicolored. This world appears to be singularity. As a singularity in our multiverse is a uniform point across space and time, a literal world unto itself. Singularity forming its own memory orb is natural. So this means world does not directly translate to globular celestial body. It appears as if Cloud has returned to outside the maelstrom of color and orb. However, the float Sam and minute evidence of the rainbow effect on the infinity mark that he is near the phenomena, such as the orb that is behind Cloud, which is then eerily subsumed by darkness and whispers. Throughout the true nature of reality, this event is singular, an orb being consumed, and whispers appearing from this ending with that sound effect. Of note are the black and then gold orbs erupting from this destruction, orbs that seen at the end of Remake, and the annihilation of the Whispers, one of which awakened Biggs from slumber. Of gruesome account, an intonation of the horror yet unseen and to come. The orb no longer is there after the Whispers have done their dark work. Is the world of singularity gone? Nothing Sephiroth does is without intention. Did the Dark God consume this world? His words further suggest that what Cloud observes are worlds. We can now deduce that Gaia, the planet, and that which is a world are two different concepts. Sephiroth's words from the opening of Ever Crisis ring with a bristling tone of ominous implication. As a result, The avatars of death and creation merge with a massive brightness, which reveals itself to be another world dream. More golden orbs flit about, joined by a similar but not identical rift-separating world from planet. This dream is the Terrier timeline. Again, the inquiry is opened. Of all that has happened in the Terrier timeline, why show the dead return to life? Biggs, why is Sephiroth, in what few images Cloud witnesses in this quantum spookiness, purposely airing world memories that do not align with what Cloud remembers? Wasn't this the very hammer blow that will be used to break Mr. Strife in the crater? The revelation that the past is not what he remembers is no longer nearly as impactful. So then, has Sephiroth's endgame changed? A nuance or clue to this would soon arrive. Also notice the rainbow light exuded from Zack's decision in the tunnels is evident as part of the world's memory. These memories are transcendent in perspective and give meteoric context to what the images in the credits are. They are world memories. Sephiroth's prose relates to how all worlds are doomed to fade. Does that also include the Beagle timeline? This would help illuminate the insane god's endgame in but a moment. Outside the world dreams, reality is not streamer and rainbow and wreckage. The debris polluting infinity shows itself to be constrained to around the swirls of vibrant aqueous substrate and orbs. The world dreams. The naked, liquid rainbow earlier did not have such pollution. It is silently proposed that the detritus is a byproduct of the dark god's activities. Though this journey is his design, he does not have full control, nor prescience of the vagaries of infinite existence. This would mean unforeseeable, unintended creation and effect occurs. Much like how Remake opened, the unforeseen can drastically affect the seen. This is both cause for hope and fear. This is life. Another world dream, and its refuse and rainbow, and this space-time consciousness is Remake. Even Remake is a dream. The physical area witnessed is again Destiny's crossroads. However, it is confined to the memories of a singular, linear space and time, instead of being all sides of the multiversal Whisper Dome, and the rift is quite similar to the rift of singularity. What is taking form from the pattern of images these dream world orbs unveil is that world memories appear from a non-local perspective. The credits are almost certainly world memories. Sephiroth's monologue is lodestone, pointing to endgame. This is the crux of Sephiroth's why. He can be a transcendent, immortal god, capable of existing interdimensionally amongst space-times simultaneously. But once Gaia returns to the cosmic lifestream, as all planets do, so too would he. There is no such thing as forever, for any life, for any space, any time, even for a planet. There is no forever for anything. All returns to the life stream and is reborn from her. All is flow, is dream. It would seem Sephiroth aims to prevent this from happening by forcing eternity into creation. His forever, unnatural abomination. Aerith's voice sounding is a reminder of this, as well as a pointed indicator that Omni-Aerith knows Cloud is here and can communicate to him by sparking memories of their conversations. That Sephiroth did not respond to Aerith is suggestive that he did not hear his rival's warning. The cadence of how reality waxes and wanes becomes familiar once the keystone observations are made. No streamers of Technicolor, no detritus, so this is outside world dreams. Ahead of Cloud are two orbs, surrounded by darkness, being forced together. As the worlds coalesce, there is a colossal explosion. This is the first time that we have observed this, and this phenomena is much akin to the annihilation of the Whispers, which resulted in Zack being able to walk from the relative moment of Crisis Core's tragic end to post-Sector 7 Fallen Remake, when thereafter the TV broadcast from one Midgar can be received on another world, amongst many other curiosities that align with the idea of Midgars being crushed together. The meteoric force of the release of this union. If this liberation could be harnessed in any way, then no wonder Sephiroth seeks reunion where all worlds are one. A flash of white. Even though the two avatars are inside a world dream, there is no detritus, and the rainbow has become gray. This, whatever this is different. Not only new, but completely dissimilar to everything else in and outside creation. This is what abomination looks and sounds like. However, something truly and fundamentally sublime is answered. Notice how the fabric of the ether is shorn with static inside the true nature of reality. For the first time in this sequence, whatever the ether of existence is, it is glitching in a very familiar manner. The glitching, the static, the malfunctioning ether is not a facet of hallucination separate from reality, but rather realities colliding. This grotesque ruination of Gaia is not being imagined. It appears that such things as Genova intrusions, seeing things others cannot, are not themselves glitches, but a mechanism that allows dreams, memories, worlds to overlap unnaturally, and the wildly varying unnatural overlappings are the observed variations in glitch, where all is dream. Hallucination is a matter of perspective. If something with enough power wanted to change causality, then past, present, and future reflect this change, this linearity that was once thought to be immutable, to be the firmament that allows existence. What is fact? What is fiction? Screams, just like the whispers of remake. Another answer is given, along with the context we have learned so far. What causes the screaming in the in-between? Sephiroth and Genova. We witness this directly here. So then, why were they screaming in remake? Sephiroth and Genova. Something terrible occurred before remake, for the whispers to be wailing the way that they were, a corruption beyond the bounds of space-time, and one pale blue dot, and all her children. Certain whispers and the Harbinger carry Sephiroth's violet light. The Harbinger looks like Genova. This is a supercritical clue to what happened in 2020, is happening in Rebirth, and what will happen when Genova becomes full form for the first time since the extinction of the Cetra. And then, the first note of Spac Zarathustra. Notice what is missing from this forced, horrid union of worlds. Memories. There are no memories when worlds are forced together. Many flashes of white abound in this loathsome tunnel, but none consume the avatars as the previous ones did, rather uniquely. Again, this is showing that the temporal universal convergence, resulting in a flash of white, is not the facet of the mind separate from the rest of reality, but rather it is a facet of reality affecting the mind. Consider the Yogacara, all is mind. Everything about this aspect of existence is freakish. Sephiroth's intents are just as unnatural. Whatever he hopes to accomplish here, he is so hopelessly detached from everything, including how Cloud would likely respond to what he's been shown, that the Dark God's genius and insanity are truly and counterproductively one. What was his ideal outcome here if everything went his way? Is he just monologuing before his helpless prey? Answer is nigh. The avatars merge with another world dream, a most revelatory one, replete with familiar rainbow and litter. The edge of creation. It seems again that world dreams are not limited to what is conceived to be the bedrock of Gaia. Each of these worlds is a whole universe, a creation out to its edge of potential or literal existence. Yet, how could the edge of creation, which has a glorious, pristine view of creation from very far away, how could the edge be itself a world that is in creation? The easiest way to conceive this seeming paradox is the spiritual idea that each world is a drop in the ocean, and each drop has an ocean within it, including that world, much like a hologram where each part contains within it the whole. In dream, space and time are not an indicator of very much, of absolute critical historical record, insane Sephiroth is showing Cloud, Ore Sephiroth, the non-insane one, whose voice is distinctly and noticeably different. This presages something truly wondrous.
Now, Cloud, I thought you might finally understand. Cloud, lend me your strength. Let us defy destiny together.
As a quick aside, in the Japanese version of this curious moment, the two voices are even more distinctly different.
我々はまだ世界の見え方が違うらしいな。お前の力が必要だ、クラウド。共に運命に抗ってみないか。
Ore and Watashi Sephiroth are being shown as individual and dissimilar aspects who know about one another. Two Sephiroths. Considering the Ever Crisis First Soldier finale to come later, this divergence aligns and deepens, not just in factual proof. Ore Sephiroth's finger, when pricked, bleeds red, which is what really matters. Two Sephiroths, a glimmer of hope for the young boy to find an end other than total annihilation, or as the first snack of full-form Genova, an end befitting one of the most beloved villains to ever grace us. Another question that arises, why would insane Sephiroth show this sequence? Is it because he wants Cloud to join him, the avatar of death and the avatar of creation, together united? As that seems to be what Ore Sephiroth is driving at. Why not just then speak these words to Cloud, as the insane god does so often throughout his monologuing in this vastness? If the two aspects of Sephiroth are antagonistic, then Watashi seems to be gloating over his opponent here. But time will tell. Yond the rainbow and Floatsam returned to infinity, despite how detached Sephiroth is from all things, including by a small margin his own endgame. He has a hook in Cloud, something deeply embedded that causes instant reaction in the Mako warrior. This reunion, Cloud's utterance of the reunion herein is the same as the final scene, both sad and scary. The dark god Sephiroth creates first the liquid rainbow and then a world dream from where beforehand there was only infinity. He does so with the Black Whispers, presaging a measure of his boundless power as well as the limitation and means of this power. Anyone who could mold the movements of the Whispers could conceivably wield such power. Notice that exactly as the avatars approach the rainbow is when the detritus appears. Inside is familiar rainbow and debris, a world dream. This orb of memory and existence is of rebirth. Without exception, all is dream, even the Beagle timeline. No wonder any of them can fade, and all of them have rifts marking where creation and world touch. Curiously, all of the memories Cloud witnesses in this space are of the robed men. Why he wants to show these images is a little bit more obvious, offering retro-causal context that truly Sephiroth is curating every image to serve his purposes. Upon this ethereal omniscience, Cloud clutches his head, and the sound effect of a glitch is audible. But there is no visible irregularity. The two phenomena, head pain and glitch, are indeed separate, though often experienced together. Their pain is the result, not the cause. This again suggests union of memories, worlds, is directly tied to but not dependent on a person's mind. And for the first instance in this sequence, without entering a world orb, there is a flash of white that consumes Cloud. Temporal universal convergence, and this one from its outset seems to be singularly unique. Cloud has disappeared. This reality is experienced by him in a different way. Instead of seeing it through a looking glass, he's witnessing from a disembodied, hyper-aware perspective, much as Glenn did with Sephiroth in Ever Crisis. The sound effect of static continues, but no observed glitching. Instead, the reality is as of poor reception, grainy and out of focus. This world, created by Sephiroth's whispers and intent, is a future memory, presumably near the northern crater, where Cloud has succumbed to despair and become a robed man. The poor quality of this world dream is likely because it has not come to pass. It has not come into focus yet. As well, it has not occurred before. It stands to reason that if the insane god continues to consume dreams, gain the freely given allegiance of Cloud, and otherwise rise in power, he might be able to create a future memory with better reception. At that point, he would not need to win any fight. He could just conjure a world where he has won, and all would be lost. There is a conceivable point of no return in this journey, no matter how well battles are fought. The revelation of this future memory is also Watashi Sephiroth's difference to Ore, at least in part. Both one-winged angels seek to defy destiny permanently. At this moment, before the Citadel, the insane god wants Cloud to succumb to loss and despair, to then fall to Genova, to become a robed man and irrevocably meld with reunion. Whereas Ore Sephiroth seems to want to unite with Cloud by means of Mr. Strife's volition, where the Mako warrior offers his hand, and the world-creating power of choice. The difference between these two one-winged angels is indicative of something far larger and universally fundamental to the struggle everybody is caught in since 2020. But that is for another video. Perhaps Ore believes he will gain Cloud's hand, not without horrendous coercion, but at least free of loss and despair and slavery. Both Sephiroths have absolute confidence in the irrefutability of the future Cloud will find himself in, but both cannot be correct. If Watashi's thought is victory wrought in the innocent blood of a brave half-Cetra, then what is Ore relying on so resolutely? What could possibly drive Cloud to choose to ally with any Sephiroth, even if but for a brief instant? Cloud's response, a statement that anyone who is not hyperbolically aloof would believe he would say, that he does not wish to be a robed man. The ever-detached Sephiroth, unfazed, as if he expected this response, tells Cloud that eyes that burn, skin that's on fire, being barely able to breathe, is rendezvous Mr. Strife will soon enjoy, and is beyond his ability to do anything about. A black robe then awaits. Again abusing the ephemeral beings to overcome temporary hurdles, the insane god creates an enormous wormhole. Of note is that this wormhole is one of light and creation, not oozing blackness as seen in Destiny's Crossroads, which is interesting because the magical forest soon to come is initially drowning in darkness. A key observation, as the insane god explodes, he does so into dark and gold orbs, as if his very DNA is literally memories, good and evil. All is dream. Whatever this blessing is, heretofore, the Mako warrior would demonstrate vastly increased awareness and power, including powers that are greatly accelerated versions of what he has been amassing throughout Rebirth, and powers that are unprecedented. And a final point. This wormhole is unlike any we have seen in the remake Rebirth anthology, as well as in Final Fantasy VII. This one is one of parallel lines and rainbow. Rainbow, the creation of something new. What is the insane god doing here? Why is this wormhole, in specific, one of creating something meaningfully new? The magical forest existed in Final Fantasy VII, and it did so at this relative moment and experience. So why is it new? Perhaps it is Cloud who has changed in awareness and power, as would soon be seen. In closing, that prodigal question of our child's heart. What did the insane god hope to gain out of all of this? Is he just lonely and wanted a fellow god to align with him? Or is there something beyond current reckoning at insidious work, as there was at Destiny's Crossroads? Everything the one-winged angel has said in Rebirth, even the arrogant and innocuous, ended up nearly causing Cloud to murder a beloved. So why so effectively educate Cloud on the nature of reality, that dreams and worlds are synonymous? Another idea that the Mako warrior voices on the other side of that wormhole. Why show Cloud that there are other worlds and friends who've returned to life? Why give Cloud a blessing to add to his power? What occurred at the end of Remake ended up allowing Sephiroth to begin the reunion. So what part of his endgame is being executed here? Less than a 5-minute passage, and now we know where all is space-time without linear space or time, also called memory, where a world is a drop in the ocean as well as an ocean in a drop, where all is dream. Everything is real. Everything. Fact and fiction are the same coin. It's a matter of perspective and the power to make that perspective real. This will continue to be explored in this ending deep dive series as it grows to become truly and singularly terrifying. For worse and better, there will not be a dry eye for any imagination adventurer going to Gaia in 2027 and beyond. Our cosmic emotional Rosetta Stone, allowing even the phantasmagorical and psychedelic and cosmic to come together for a big bang in meaning. So fingers, when pricked, bleed red. Imagination adventurers, I bid thee adieu.